every Saturday.
Subscribe to JW Outdoors.
Episode 63, Gates of the Mountains, Montana.
Push back here with another video. Today we're at Montana, Gates of the Mountains, going the river.
Yep. We're going to go up the Missouri River where Lewis and Clark camped in like 1806. They camped up on the bluff overlooking it and they named it Gates of the Mountains. We're in Montana. Should be really cool. 2-hour boat ride. Nestled halfway between Yellowstone and Glacier National Parks in central Montana sits the Gates of the Mountains. Boat tours have operated on the Upper Holter Lake and the Missouri River here since 1886. The area is historically significant because in 1805 the Lewis and Clark expedition passed through the area and named the canyon the Gates of the Rocky Mountains. The Mann Gulch fire, where 13 members of a smokejumping crew perished in 1949, also occurred here in a steep canyon. Lewis and Clark were here. And they said the river appears to have forced its way through this immersed body of solid rock for the distance of 5 3/4 miles. Where it makes its exit below has thrown on either side vast columns of rocks, mountains high. The river appears to have worn in passage just the width of its channel, or 150 yards. It is deep from side to side. They were here in 1806, 1805, 1805. Lewis and Clark were here. Lewis and Clark in the Gates. It was late in the evening before I entered this place, obliged to continue my route until sometime after dark before I found a place sufficiently large to encamp my small party. I called it the Gates of the Rocky Mountains. Alright, we're boarded. George, you excited? George wore his black hooded sweatshirt just so he could bake in this Montana sun. You guys excited? Yes, you are. Walker got him a new hat. Look at that cool hat. Land of the Giants. Mommy's really excited. William, super excited. Me, I'm always excited. We selected outside seats because it's supposed to have the best views, even though we're going to get baked by the sun. We selected the enclosed boat because it has a restroom. That boat doesn't have a restroom and stops at a beach to use the restroom. Off we go.
What's our elevation?
I don't know. Right.
You think it's like 4,000?
Oh yeah.
Higher? Like
About
5?
4,000.
This little duck right here.
It's not going to be hot, guys. It's going to be cool back here.
They're inline 6 cylinders. And it's rather underpowered, actually.
probably where they camped. Where Lewis and Clark camped, right through here.
Sounds like a good idea. Get rid of that bad blood. 70s, people there right for a while, but didn't work out for them. So we bought that ranch area down there. And it's the same
Lewis and
time
Clark
we're
camped.
running
It's right there. Campground right there. You can boat into it. It's an 18-mile hike to get to it. Natural arch up there.
It'd be just my luck that'd be the day that the earthquake comes. And we'll turn around and take a look at this. Flood. They closed it down. They eventually were able to come in here. They brought a skid steer in and a mini excavator. They cleaned all the gravel out of everything. But about 3 years ago, there was a group of women that came in here, young women, part of the MNC. They stayed up here for 2.5 months. They completely turned this place around. See the trails, the red, that's the bark stuff they put in. They cleared all the big rocks out that came out of the mountain. They took the building that's back there. There's picnic tables in it and a fireplace and stuff. They did all the carpentry work on that. Painted it. They just really turned everything around in there. They did an amazing job.
Guy carved a face in the rock right here.
I've seen pictures of
Two eyes
people
in
down
it.
their boat. They always had their, the women always had those long dresses on, and the guys got their big boots and their coats, ties. I was thinking, man, I don't know if any point if you fell off the boat, you'd ever make it. But they're pretty tough people. They probably would. And they took it back home.
Native
Came back to
American
being
paint
rock
up there,
and
that
roll,
red rock.
which is older than we thought it would have been. Now, these people that would have lived here wouldn't have had horses then. They would have, and they also would have been right in the period where they'd be switching from spears to bow and arrows. So, now this water's probably 30, 40 feet deeper than it was when that was done. We don't know what it means. There's a couple of theories that we have no idea if it's good. But one is that they would have had a shaman in their tribe. So they would go out. It could have been a woman or a man. That would have been their religious leader.
That green moss is very rare.
Looks pretty.
It's not too many different places. There's a pink flower on it in the spring.
The military was doing it. They were dropping guys, but this was new, dropping them in the fire. But this is a few years after that. So they come in there and they look at that fire. Wag Dodge, he was the foreman. So Wag Dodge and Earl Cooley, they're
Talking
looking
about
at that
the
cargo
Mann
door, that
Gulch
plane.
fire where 13
And they're
smoke
looking at that fire, and
jumpers
it's 20, 30
lost their
acres.
lives up
And so they just
top
went,
of
you
that
know
ridge.
what? We should be able to have that out by tomorrow afternoon. So they jump out. You can't see where they landed. They landed behind this hill, way up there on the ridge, but it's behind this mountain here. That said, gone to fight fire. So he went back up there, the second trip up there. He runs into Dodge. Dodge recognizes him from the year before because Dodge fought fires with him. By the sign. As I go across this
Gate,
river,
this is how the gate of the mountain's got its name right there. That's the gate. Gate.
There they go.
Right there. See it? You gotta imagine a gate opening as we go.
And you eventually be able to see the river down there. There we go, it's open now.
Now you can see the river.
Now we're going to turn around and close it. You always close the gate once you go through.
Bald eagle right there.
Where is
Is it
it?
farther this way?
Right there.
Behind you?
day. Pretty cool boat ride. A lot of cool information. 3W Outdoors.
What?
3W Outdoors.
3W Outdoors out.
Hit the subscribe button for more great videos.